All right, Mount Rudmore here, and I am back talking BB25. It is Wednesday night. We just had the veto episode, the competition, and the veto meeting, and that is actually where I left off with my last stream. The veto meeting was just about to happen. Um, so let's just get into it because let's just start off by saying what happened at the end. I got this one curl that's like being a little flippant right now. Plus, I'm looking at myself in reverse on my monitor, so I don't know which way is up. But yes, veto. Jared, which he stumbled into. By the way, thought he finished second and got the veto, but no, he finished third and got the veto. Failing up. I don't know how many times I gotta say it. He fails up. But he does not use the veto. Felicia and Izzy remain on the block. And here is where things go from there. And I really wish I did this stream earlier. I almost did it earlier today, but I'm like, I'll just do it after the episode tonight. How much could happen today on Waffle Wednesday? Yeah, that one's kind of on me. There we go. I promise I'll stop playing with my hair so much. Anyway, I got a lot of notes ever since the veto meeting up until now because even recently today, like the last few hours, probably even the last few minutes, um, today has just been insane, and I still have to. My notes start on Monday, right after the veto meeting. So here we go. Corey talks to America. He tells her that Blue ratted her out to Izzy, and this is something America really needed to hear. And he also tells her that Jared and Cameron said that she spilled his survivor secret, but he does not believe this. He believes it is Jared's. So, right off the bat, we are talking about possibly the seeds for Jared to no longer be as trusted as he is, which is something I've been waiting for a while. Um, America tries to tell Cameron he's reading the house wrong, but he's just not listening. Bowie also tries, also fails. Corey comes in, tells Cameron Izzy could be voted out, and Cameron is like, "Nope, that is happening. There's no could about it. She is leaving." And he's just like, "I've talked to enough people." And Corey's like, "Are you sure they're not BSing you?" And he's like, "Nah, they're not." And Matt also tries and fails to get through to Cameron. Because I know I talk about this a lot with Jared, but Cameron is another one who is just believing his own perspective so much, like believing that it is the perspective and it's just definitely what's going on. And it's like, bro, you've been blindsided 2 weeks in a row. Okay, you were blindsided with Jag not being eliminated because of the power, and you were blindsided on Thursday thinking that Red was going to stay, and he didn't. It's like, how many times do you want to get got, dude? But yeah, um, that is an annoying trait about Cameron and Jared. But Jared just continues to show how much worse his traits are. Like, I've gone back and forth. Who's worse, Cameron or Jared? And over these last few days, it is unequivocally Jared as a as a person and as a player. But Jared is just talking about how there's no way Jag and America and Corey, there's no way they're good people outside the house. Without fail, people on this show that think they are loved or think they know who is and isn't loved, they are always wrong. Like, the people who are the most confident about what America thinks, especially when it's highly of them, they're the most wrong. Like, I remember that happening a lot in BB21. They all thought that Super Alliance that was running the show, they all thought, oh, we're the best. We're running this thing. Everybody loves us. And Nicole thought, yeah, nobody watching likes me, probably. And guess what? Nicole won America's favorite that year. So, yeah. And somehow Tommy ended up in the top three, but I think that was a pity vote because of how he went out. But I'm like, who cares? He was annoying. But yeah, at this point, I can't wait until Jared gets out of the house, finds out A, how hated he is, and B, how loved Corey and America are. Jag, it's a little. Yeah, I think the general consensus is that people like Jag the person, but Jag the player uh, is is a disaster. But we will get to that. Jared tells Izzy and Corey that America should go before Cameron because he knows Cameron isn't coming for him. He knows he's coming for Izzy and Sari. He doesn't know what America will do. I'm like, what is this, Jared? Like, you're telling this to Corey, and you're not saying that, and like also to Izzy, he's not saying that he knows he's safe because Cameron would be coming for Izzy and Sari. But A, you're saying this to Izzy's face. B, Sari is your mother, and it's just like he's so afraid of the unknown with America. And the thing is, America probably wouldn't have gone for him, but he's just been so weird about her lately that, yeah, she's kind of starting to think maybe. And I just don't understand how Jared's brain works. It's like his brain can't fathom a world where things aren't going his way. He's like Sheldon Cooper. He's like Sheldon Cooper with muscles. with muscles. Now, Suri is released from her punishment, and this is part of why Jared has been doing so well in the game, because Suri has been able to put his fires out, but she's been attached to Felicia for 48 hours. So she hasn't seen the full extent of the mess that Jared has made. So she's released. Izzy is the first one to come up to her. Says, I am done with Jag. Then she talks to Jared, tells her that Corey and America are targeting her and Izzy. But he also says that Izzy should leave this week because Izzy wants to keep Corey. He's just doing everything wrong. He's wanting to betray the person who has all of the dirt on him and Suri. And I know I referenced the Jesse Pinkman meme, like, he can't keep getting away with it. But yeah, again, Jared can't keep getting away with it. So that's where Jared is at with Suri. And Suri also is talking to Mimi, and she accidentally outs the Seven Deadly Sins, thinking Mimi was a part of that alliance. Quick reminder, it was Sari, Jared, Izzy, Felicia, Jag, Blue, Matt. Mimi was not a part of that. Mimi is not bothered by this at all, that Sari is in so many alliances she can't keep them straight. And I talked about this before. Mimi doesn't really care too much about other information. Like it's this weird thing. Some people in the house are overreacting to people playing the game. Mimi's the only one who is underreacting. She's like, "Oh, Suri, you're in a lot of alliances. Okay, that won't affect me in any way." But honestly, this reminded me of back in BB23 when Tiffany, Derek X, and Hannah were talking, and Tiffany's Tiffany brings up the Royal Flush Alliance, which did not include Hannah. So, like, she reveals it. Derek X is just like, and Hannah's like, and then after Tiffany leaves, and it's just the two of them, Hannah's like, so what's Royal Flush? I mean, granted, Hannah probably had less reason to believe that this was a problem because, she and Tiffany already had the cookouts. And that was the only real alliance that lasted that season. And I specifically remember once Derek X told Tiffany that Hannah wasn't part of the Royal Flush. Tiffany's attitude after that was just kind of like, oh, well, I guess that's the end of Royal Flush. Oops, I ruined it. Guess we gotta destroy it now. And that's basically what happens. Allison Bella 007. Hey, how are you? I am well. Happy to have someone to talk to for once. I haven't had that in a while. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I was just talking about how Suri accidentally outed Seven Deadly Sins to Mimi, and Mimi doesn't seem to care too much. Um, my next note that I have America and Bowie talking some game. I'm your old follower. Oh, well, then welcome back. Haven't seen you in a while. I appreciate it. America and Bowie start talking some game, and they feel that, they both kind of think they're on the outside of things, which is very true for Bowie and fairly true for America. I mean, America does have a more solid thing going, but yeah, Bowie is like the true outcast of the house. Like, she's the Zoidberg, she's the Meg Griffin, she's the Jerry, I think, from Parks and Recreation. I think that's his name. Texted me on Twitter. How do you text on Twitter? You tweeted at me? Okay. I will after. Um, America says that she thinks Izzy and Suri have an alliance beyond whatever they have with Bowie, and that maybe they should take Izzy out now. And Suri really left Bowie as a major loose end. And if Jared isn't her undoing, then Bowie very well might be. So, yeah. The Suri and Jared conversation, like what they were having before, it kind of got cut off. Um, hold on. I'll be right back, as this screen will indicate. Okay, sorry about that. Um, the Suri and Jared conversation was cut off. The next time we see Jared, all of a sudden, he's good with Corey in America again. Like, okay. And he thinks that Jag and Cameron should be the next two to go. I don't know what Suri did, but she misted him again. She's good at that. Izzy talks to Bowie. This one is not as good as America's conversation. Again, Izzy also not really recognizing that Bowie is here. Bowie is a vote. And as they talk, Izzy is more or less gaslighting her for not being part of their alliance, but Bowie's like, I was loyal, I was just laying low. And Bowie's still upset at being left out, and Izzy doesn't really seem to recognize that Bowie was upset at being left out, and this is not a great campaign. But Izzy hasn't really felt the need to campaign because she feels pretty safe. So, yeah, Izzy is proof that you should never feel too comfortable when you're on the block. If there hasn't been a ton of proof over the years, like Nicole last year, Brent the year before, just you can't be too comfortable. America talks to Blue. America thinks they should take Felicia out, but she's kind of fishing in this conversation. Jag joins the conversation and they tell him, yeah, Felicia, right? But he's not sure. But America's kind of subtly trying to get him to um to go along with it, but he doesn't really take the bait. And this later leads to Blue blaming Jag for wanting to vote Izzy out. So America got off scot-free in this one. And that's Blue ruining another relationship that she had. That was solid. I, Blue and Jag have had a great relationship, and she's had a decent relationship with America, but she's just kind of not interested in either of them anymore. She's kind of all about Jared now. Cameron tells Sari that he doesn't see a way for them to work together with Izzy still in the house, and he wants Izzy out. And, Sari gives him the usual BS that she gives to Cameron. I'll think about it. Spoiler alert, she didn't think about it. Or she thought about it and decided, nah. Bowie tells Matt that she's convinced that Blue is ratting her out to Izzy. And she also thinks it means she can't trust Jared either. But Matt's like, no, 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 Jared's fine. Still, Bowie is really waking up. I mean, it's week 6, so probably should have done it sooner, but better late than never, I guess. Yeah, Bowie did not like being backstabbed. So she's definitely the most active she's ever been. America tries to convince Jag that Blue sold them both out, and he doesn't know what to think. He's like, "Oh, I can't believe this. Oh God, why?" Like he just doesn't want to hear it. It's like, Jag, this is the kind of stuff you need to hear. You can't just be like, "Nah, this isn't a big deal. I could just stick my head in the sand." But yeah, he just doesn't know what to think really, more than anything. America talks to Cameron. She tells him that he doesn't have the votes to send Izzy out. It tells him he was the target last week. He refuses to listen, and this literally goes, yes, no, yes, no. It says Blue is the problem more than Jared. I'm sorry, America says Blue is the problem. Wait, hold on. I think I forgot to write something down. Anyway, the way this conversation goes, he is left looking a little shaken by it, so it's like maybe he's considering that Jared and Blue are a problem. But America is worried that he's gonna blab everything, which is probably valid. He doesn't seem to trust her. He certainly doesn't respect her. Sari tells Corey she's not worried about him and America together. Sees no reason for her to go up anytime soon. And this is clearly just trying to put out another fire that Jared has set while he was left on his own for 2 days. Blue tells Jared Jag has no loyalties to anyone. And this is just complete nonsense. Because Jag's greatest strength and greatest weakness is his loyalty. Like he is stupid loyal. But Blue saying this, it's just why? What are what are you trying to do with this, Blue? And at this point, all I can think is that she has just completely sold her own game out to just be a minion for Jared. That's all Blue is anymore. Just a minion to him. It's like, how many red flags does this guy have to show you before you actually start to play for yourself again? If she ever did in the first place. Uh, Jag. Jag starts jagging again. He tells Jared that he doesn't want Bowie or America to win HOH, even though they would not put him up. And he tells Jared that America doesn't trust him. I mean, the talk of America ruining her own game with everything she's doing, that's all kind of meaningless to me because everyone else does it for her. She's kind of like Brittany from last year, where everything Brittany said got ratted out and used against her. The same thing is really kind of happening to America. No matter how hard she tries, everyone's just decided we got to gang up on her. Every bit of information she says, we have to weaponize against her. And the fact that this is coming from Jag, who has America has tried so hard to get him to wake up, and he still hasn't figured it out. This is a comparison I made not too long ago. Uh, was it yesterday or was it earlier today? I don't remember. I think it was yesterday. But I said that Jag is like it's like you Jag's gameplay is like you're handed a deck of cards and you have to guess whether each one is red or black. Now, obviously, the odds of getting them all right are pretty low, but the odds of getting them all wrong are just as low. And Jag is somehow wrong every single time. All 52 times, he is wrong. And honestly, it's like, how? How are you this bad at this? I don't understand what Jared's, what Jag's gameplay is. Okay, sorry. Allison, I was trying to find your thing, but I couldn't find it. So yeah, that's where Jag's at. He's just doing everything wrong. Cameron tells Corey that he's figured out that Jared is untrustworthy. He figured it out because America told him. But, he can't give America any credit. Um, sorry, 1 second. Sorry. But yeah, that's what Cameron's telling Corey right now. Jared's untrustworthy. And Cameron's like, we need to get a group together to move forward. And Corey agrees to this, only to immediately rat him out to Suri and Izzy. He doesn't mention the Jared stuff, but he's doing this because he doesn't want to be attached to Cameron. He knows Cameron is the next target. Even Cameron knows Cameron's the next target, so yeah, it makes sense why Corey just got out ahead of this. And frankly, everything I've seen of Cameron, I wouldn't want to be associated with him either. And sure enough, my next note here Cameron tells Jag he knows that they're going to try to backdoor him next. And tells him not to trust Jared and Blue since they basically offered him up last week, which they did. Blue in particular, just be like, hey, Jag, I'm going to volunteer you. And he tells Jag, you can't say anything because this will really hurt you. It won't hurt me because I can't be hurt anymore, but it'll hurt you. And it still doesn't register with Jag. He tells Matt, Cameron, and America can't be trusted. Once again, he says, we and America can't win HOH. He's just sticking to the wrong thing because that's Jag for you. Suri apologizes to Bowie for leaving her out of the red vote. And Bowie even says that she never wanted to work with Cameron. She just kind of got stuck with him. And I did say, I think it was while I was watching Sunday's episode, I said to my dad that the Cameron Bowie relationship does seem kind of forced by by circumstances. And I compared it to the relationship that Terrence and Alyssa had with each other last season. Like, those two would have never had any real game connection if but like they both kind of mutually trusted the same people and all those people started leaving, so then they just were kind of like, "Oh, okay, I guess we're allies in this game." I'm still worried that a Terrence Alyssa real life relationship is going to happen, but I digress. Suri also tells Bowie that Cameron is trying to start a guys' alliance, and it seems like Suri has re-misted Bowie. Like Bowie kind of came out of it for a while, but seems like she might be back. My hair is not cooperating with me tonight. I probably need a haircut. Nah, I like the long hair look. Anyway, Felicia tells Mimi that she thinks that she's in trouble. Mimi swears that she does want to keep Felicia, but America had talked to her earlier about wanting to keep Felicia, and Mimi just says, I don't believe America. I think she's lying because once again, everyone has to just not trust America. My God, just this one little curl just keeps poking down and annoying the crap out of me. Sorry. I'm really trying not to play with my hair, I swear. So Cameron talks to Matt, says that he wants a group of them, the two of them, Bowie, Corey, America, and Jag. Cameron says that Jared can't be trusted. And what does Matt do? About what you'd expect. Goes and tells Suri and Izzy right away. Because Matt is definitely now the second most loyal Fields child behind exactly Izzy. Um, but Corey, America, Jag, and Matt talk. They realize that they all get associated as working together. So they might as well. They might as well start working together. They think that they're in trouble after Cameron goes, and I think this is 75% true. I don't think Matt is in any danger anytime soon. Sorry, just saw a typo, and it's going to bother me if I don't correct it. There we go. Ultimately, they agree, yeah, we'll vote out Felicia. America holds out the longest, but she comes around. They talk about maybe they should bring Bowie in as well. And this is actually pretty good as far as America's standing with the two of them because Matt and Jack figure out they're safe if they don't win HOH, but they should still try to anyway. Matt later says that he trusts Corey and by extension America because of their dynamic. And it's like, okay, maybe Matt is starting to play for himself finally instead of just being a loyal foot soldier for Suri. Corey and America, they debate um, what they should do, like what their next move should be. Like they debate on what to do if Matt and Jag leak their conversation. They decide if this happens, we will dump the information we have on the seven deadly sins, and we will use it to get Izzy out. And it's like, why don't you do that now? If you really want to make this flip happen. America in particular, America wants Izzy to go more than Felicia. So so it's like, America, just do it. Matt tries to convince Jared that they're in a position where they can play the middle. Jack talks about how Jared was so weird with the veto. Remember, he was doing what Cameron did, just kind of making people sweat, making people not know what he's gonna do, making them uncomfortable, which was not a good idea. I mean, it was not a good idea for Cameron, but there's really nothing Cameron can do to redeem himself to the rest of this house. They hate him. They want him out as soon as they can. Like nothing's gonna change with Cameron. Jared has been in a good position though. So Jared doing this has definitely damaged him more because like you can't pile on to Cameron because anything times zero is still zero. Jared being in a good position and him multiplying by zero is starting to bring him down. So Jag isn't sure he can trust him, and at this point, this is when he remembers that Sari had told Jared about Matt's power. So yeah, Jag, is there any chance? Like everyone's been talking for days about how bad a player Jag is at this game. It's like, please, dude, we want you to wake up. Like, either wake up or get to stepping. But for whatever reason, most people are still on team wake up with Jag. So we get a lot of fun. Jared and Blue. are having an argument. What? This couple arguing? You don't say. Jared says, he says to Blue, "You're not my girlfriend." And they argue about it all day. And Jag kind of stumbles into it. Blue says Jared needs to work on his pettiness. And he says if she can't deal with it, then she doesn't have to. So, like, this guy has basically told her to never fart around him. And he's bragging, basically, that he doesn't have to change anything about himself. This man has blinders on to the world. Nothing that happens matters if he doesn't command it to happen. Cameron tells America that today's the day. He's gonna tell Sari he knows who Jared is. And at first, I'm like, what? What do you know? Or what do you think you know? Or do you actually know? So I didn't know what he meant at first. But later came out that what he means is he knows the two of them turned red against him. I mean, yeah. I'll tell you, Cameron's playing from the bottom, and there isn't much he can do about it, but sometimes he has a good read. Cameron tells Felicia she's going to be voted out. And Felicia just saw another typo. Felicia goes and directly asks the person who clearly is the most responsible for this. She just goes up to this person and is like, what's the deal? And of course, it's the most obvious person, the one who's doing everything in this house, Jack. Of all the people to ask, Felicia, you asked the most worthless person to ask this question to. And this is where the wheels start to come off a little bit. Izzy tells Corey, America needs to go soon. You need to let her go. Interesting choice while needing both of their votes to stay. And as a result, Waffle Wednesday is on. Corey, Jag, and America, they are down to flip. But they need to find a way to inform Matt without Jared finding out, because they need to leave him out. They need to leave Jared out. And yes, they do. America tells Jag that Jared wants him out. Corey goes and talks to Bowie, says they have the votes, and they just need to talk to Matt and Mimi about it. And also says that Sari has been smack talking Bowie a lot. And Bowie Bowie is excited. How excited, you may ask? Well, I actually saved a screenshot of just how excited Bowie is. Yeah, Bowie's like, wait, playing this game is actually fun? Ooh, I think I might do it more. So yes, that face right there, that is the energy I love in Big Brother. It's like, oh, we're about to do some stuff. America also talks to Bowie, and she says like they're mad at me because I tell the truth and they are just shady all the time. And she also tells Cameron, do not say a word to Sari or Jared. Corey tells Mimi they're leaving her out of the vote. And he doesn't see a path forward with Izzy at this point. And Mimi says that she doesn't know who to trust anymore, but she's down. And I'm just like, finally, Mimi, actually playing instead of just hanging back and letting the game happen all around her. But like she is down for this flip to happen. Corey tells Jag about the seven deadly sins. Jag says F the seven deadly sins and F Jared. Jag trusts America more than ever right now, more than Blue. Says they always try to pin everything that goes awry on America. And Mimi and Matt, it's like they're both pretty loyal to Suri. Do they say anything? And since I started my stream and since I last checked BB Twitter, they have not. Apparently Bowie said something, but it's Bowie, so I don't think Suri really put much stock in it. And now, if this flip happens, I know that Cameron is gonna take credit for it. Like, oh yeah, I made it happen. I got out the person I wanted to get out. The house did my bidding. If this flip happens, it is not because of him playing really well. It is because of Jared playing horribly wrong. He damaged his own spot, Izzy's spot, Cerise's spot. He helped Felicia. Felicia's spot was Felicia had 1 foot out the door, and I'm not going to assume anything. Felicia, I think, probably still has 1 foot out the door, but I think Izzy also has 1 foot out the door at this point, and I just spit on my hands. When I get excited, I I lose control of my like my mouth does its own thing when I'm excited. But yeah, Jared has ruined everything. And I still see people saying Suri had an unfair advantage. If anything, Jared is an unfair disadvantage with just how much he screws things up for her. But that's kind of where things stand. I mean, the votes are there. In fact, they have potentially six. They only need five because nine people are voting. But I mean, Corey, America, Jag definitely want this to happen. Bowie most likely does. Matt and Mimi, it seems like they could still go back to Suri, but last time I checked, they haven't yet. So yeah, this could happen. And like even if one of them decides to rat out Suri, but the other five stick with it, then there's nothing Suri can do. So yeah, Suri's spot in this game is starting to possibly diminish a little bit. And I've seen a lot of people online that are just so upset about that. Like, oh no, it's not going perfectly well for Suri at this point. So I hate everything now. Like I'm gonna compare Corey to Kyle and say America is just using him for showman's clout. Like, no, you're just a rabid Suri fan, and you can't handle that maybe she might not have a grip on things anymore. And I say maybe because I've seen Suri play. I listen. I've been watching Suri play for 6 weeks at this point. There are people that have been fans of her for 20 years. And in the 6 weeks I have seen Suri, I am confident that she can still find a way to maneuver her way back up to the top of the food chain in this house. Like, I'm not even 100% convinced that Izzy's going to go. Like I said, I think it's become a lot more likely than I thought that the vote could flip. But if Suri does find out about it, she could flip it back because she's pretty good at this. All I'm saying is, I don't want it. Like, it's not that I don't want Suri to win, because I would not have a problem with Suri winning. I don't want her to be handed the win. I said this as soon as I said this right after the premiere when she ended up in the house. I'm like, listen, I don't want this to be like a, a Cody Cauliflower situation where the game is just handed to her and she doesn't even have to worry about anything at all. Like, no, I want Suri to work for it and to earn it. Like Taylor, she had to work for it and earn it every single week. Obviously, Suri probably won't have to work that hard for her spot in the game. But, I would take a happy medium between Taylor having to work every second of every day and Cody Cauliflower just getting to walk to $500,000. That's all. That's how I feel about it. I'm okay with Suri winning as long as it's not handed to her. I like a fight for the win, not a waltz to the win. And the rumors were circulating that the next HOH was going to be the wall comp, and we found out at the end of tonight's episode it is. So I'm very excited about that, and I really think America has what it takes to win this. I think she's just the right body type. She's not very big, but she's fit. So she can hold herself up. She won't get tired. I think America is a strong contender for it. Jared, I think he's probably too big and muscular. I don't think he'll be able to. I mean, I think he can hang on for a little while. I don't think he'll be the first one out, but honestly, with how dumb Jared is, like I said this before, he might just absentmindedly wipe some slime off his face and put his hand back in the hand holder and then lose his grip. And I think I've also said before that I do not want a Cameron Jared sequence of HOHs. Like I can't. I got enough gray hairs in the beard already. Uh, yeah, there's some gray in there. Um, Suri, unfortunately, I don't think would last very long on the wall. Felicia or Izzy, I don't think would last very long. Corey, I think under normal circumstances, I think he could have been a contender, but he's been a have not for 3 weeks, and he has basically been wasting away. Like I'm starting to get worried about him. So, like, unless have nots end before that competition and he can get some real food in him, then I don't think Corey has much of a chance. Um, Matt, I think could win. Jag, I think could win. Blue, eh, I think Blue might be like I think Blue's gonna drop in the middle. There'll be 10 people competing. Blue will probably come in like sixth, seventh place, maybe. Uh, Mimi, I don't know. I feel like Mimi's a little scrawny. I could be wrong, but yeah, I don't see Mimi winning this one. I think America, Matt, and Jag, I think, are the three most likely people to win the wall comp. Oh my god, I forgot Bowie. Even when Bowie does start playing, I still forget she's here. Um, I think Bowie's going to be very determined. I don't think she's going to throw the wall comp, but I don't think she's going to win either. In fact, I see her being an early drop. If Felicia does survive this week, Felicia's dropping first. But you know what? One of the like I always kind of wanted Felicia to stay over Izzy because I like Felicia more. But someone online, I forget who it was, but someone on Twitter said that it'd be so sad for Felicia to go before she gets to be in the wall comp. And I started thinking about it, I'm like, oh my god, that would be sad. Just Felicia's gonna be making all kinds of iconic noises. Like when she gets splattered for the first time with whatever they're gonna launch at the house guests. And then when she does inevitably fall off the wall, those sounds that she's gonna make are just gonna be phenomenal. And I want Felicia to stay mostly for that. And also Izzy leaving would confirm that the costume curse is back. Like it hadn't happened for a while, but then with Indy last year it came back, and now apparently, I mean, there's a chance that Izzy could keep it going. And listen, I know it was a pig costume, but with the big ears and Izzy wearing glasses and just being pasty white, when I saw her in that pig costume, all I see is Ralphie from A Christmas Story. Like she does. That's what she looks like. I'm sorry. Okay, now it is time to return to Twitter, get some updates, see if things have changed. No in this house, probably. I mean, like I did make an official prediction. Felicia is gonna leave this week. That is my official prediction. All right, where are we at? Well, nothing new on my main timeline, which tells me that like I follow enough people that if it had started flipping back, I probably would have found out from one of them. But I am going to check the hashtag. Oh yeah, I didn't know that Felicia almost passed out during the veto competition, but seeing the competition, I'm not surprised. But hey, she she made it to the third round, which was better than I thought. So good for her on that. I mean, I don't think she was like she didn't pass out. She was just kind of like, okay, I'm tired. I need to lay down. I will say, had she advanced to round four, then she might have passed out. Especially if she fell again. Like poor Felicia, she fell twice, and that couldn't have helped. That that definitely added to the situation. But I mean, she didn't give up. I think what it came down to was just like, oh well, I'm out. Guess I can lie down now. Also, I can't believe Matt really thought he was actually gonna hang out with the real Josh Duhamel. Like that show was premiering this week. He's got interviews to do. Um, yeah. Uh, the house has really started turning against Jared a little bit, and I love it. I mean, I don't want to get ahead of myself too much because remember, BB21, the house turned on Jackson at one point, and it was right before Jessica's HOH, so he very easily could have left that week, but they deemed Jack the bigger threat, and and Jackson stuck around and ended up winning. So, and not because he was a really good player, because I still don't, I like gameplay wise, Jackson is still definitely near the bottom for me. Like on a game level and on a personal level, Jackson is near the bottom for me as far as the winners go. So I'm not ruling out the possibility that that happens with Jared too. And if he does end up winning, then I do hope that he just becomes another one like Jackson or like Adam from BB9, a winner that is just completely shunned by the fandom and even by fellow BB players. Yeah. Um, Not really seeing too much. Just that over at our hap, they're all in pig costumes. Well, not Rob, but all his guests are. Like, how was I ever going to compete with that? Like, this is the most I'm doing. The shirt says Los Angeles on it, and the Big Brother house is in Los Angeles. This is the most from me. Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing anything indicating that anyone is flipping back. Jag, Matt, Corey, America, they all seem to still be in on it. Even Matt and Mimi. I mean, Bowie and Mimi. I mean, that's six right there, and we only need five. So this would truly be one of the more shocking outcomes I've ever seen. Like, honestly, the way Izzy had been playing this game, like, she seemed like a lock for jury with the way she'd maneuvered herself. I mean, of course, with Sari and Jared, but also really with a lot of people. But I mean, her campaigning was not great. It's like, hey, Corey, you shouldn't spend any more time with America because she should leave soon. Also, vote for me to stay. It's like, did you really think this through? And also gaslighting Bowie like that. Like Bowie wasn't falling for that. Bowie isn't as gullible as a lot of these people thought she was. And I will say this: if I'm completely wrong about Bowie's chances in the wall comp, and she does pull out a win, a Bowie HOH would be very interesting. America is the HOH I want the most. Um, Jag and Matt winning, I mean, better than Jared winning, but I'm not sure what they would do. Like, I don't know if they would, like, we got Izzy, that was a big shot, but it's like, are they gonna take another big shot, or would they just be like, okay, now we can take out Felicia, or maybe just put up, maybe even Mimi or Bowie. Like, would they actually go for Sari or Jared? I mean, Jag definitely is very anti-Jared at this point, but would it be enough to actually go for him? Um, I think Blue was also probably pretty vulnerable, depending on who wins. I don't know if okay, I don't know if Matt would put up Jared, and I don't know if Jag would put up Blue. That's kind of where I feel about them. I think either of them winning, honestly, they might just take the easy way out and just put up Felicia again. I don't see them going for Sari or Jared right now. Uh, Corey winning? I don't know. Before I would have said no way, but he's a little hyped about this flip, so you know maybe. Um, and then there's also still always a chance that like this alliance that's forming, they're not doing it for Cameron. They do not like Cameron. Like they're doing this in spite of him, and they could very easily just be like, okay, now we'll take out Cameron or try to backdoor him. Personally, I think the ideal nominees next week are Cameron and Jared, but I don't really think there's anyone in that house that would put those two up. I think there are people in the house that would put one of them up. I definitely think America would put up Jared, and maybe even Suri next to him, or Blue. But I don't think anyone puts up Cameron and Jared together. That's my theory. Yeah, not really finding anything. This week, this week's been amazing. Honestly, I when Cameron won HOH again, I was just like, oh come on. Like I fully expected it to just be another flop, but my God. Granted, Cameron has played horribly. He hasn't done himself any favors. He is probably gonna leave fairly soon, and definitely if Jared or Sari or Felicia slash Izzy, whichever one stays, any of them win, they're gonna try to backdoor him. But yeah, even if they decide to keep taking shots, but that's the thing. Cameron is a legitimate comp beast. Okay, 3 weeks in a row, he's won safety for himself. So that's not nothing. He is someone they need to be careful of. So maybe get one more of this power structure, Sari, Jared, and the survivor between Izzy and Felicia. Like get one more of them, and then start looking at Cameron because the longer we go into this game, the less of a chance you have of backdooring him because he just might get picked naturally because the odds are more likely. And it's worth pointing out Cameron has competed in every single veto competition this season. He was picked randomly week 1. Week 2, week 3, nominated. Week 4, HOH. Week 5, nominated. Week 6, HOH. He has been in every veto competition. So, yeah, he's had some practice. Try to backdoor him as soon as you can. I think get Jared out first. Because Jared doesn't win comps, but he gets handed comp wins. So that's something to be concerned about. That to me, I think would be ideal. Jared next, then Cameron, then Sari, then Felicia. Like if this group wants to make stuff happen, and then Blue because Blue would just be, or maybe even Blue before Felicia. But like Blue has basically confirmed that without Jared around, she's gonna be nothing. And Jared, if Sari goes before Jared, then he's gonna be nothing without her around. So by extension, with him being nothing, Blue will be nothing, and it's what they deserve. Um, yeah, I went there. Okay, that is gonna do it for me. Thank you to my one viewer. If that's still you, Allison, thanks. Um, if you're watching this on YouTube later, I appreciate it. You can follow me on Twitter at NickGrimesYT. I have links to my Twitch channel and my YouTube channel there, and you can get my thoughts on Big Brother stuff as it happens. And knowing this house, there'll probably be another development, another major development before I go to bed. Probably some more flip talk. I mean, there'll probably be some more flip talk before tomorrow night because there always is because they don't stop. So yeah, I fully expect the flip talks to continue, and that is why I am hesitant to assume anything. And at the end of the day, every either original plan or backup plan when the target won the veto has been followed through. Like week 1, Kirsten was the target, voted out. Next week, Riley was the target, voted out. And they both had a lot of flip talks. I mean, Riley definitely more than Kirsten. Heisem, he was the backdoor plan all along, and he left. Jag was the plan, but then the eviction was canceled. Then Cameron was the plan, with Red as the backup, but Cameron won the veto, so even though they very nearly flipped it back on Jag, in the end they're just like, okay, Red. So Yeah, that's why I'm still not confident that this is going to happen. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not as confident that Izzy's going to stay, but I'm still pretty confident. I'm going to say I'm going to say 60%. I'm giving Izzy a 60% chance of survival tomorrow night. And considering it used to be 100%, that's still quite a development. But yeah, it depends on if this new group is really able to stick with each other, trust each other, and for Sari to not find out about what's going on. And the big question, if Izzy does leave, does she reveal the secret on her way out the door? I do think that if Izzy suspects that Sari and Jared had anything to do with it, I think she might. But if it does turn out being 6-3, I feel like Izzy is going to know who the three are: Sari, Jared, and Blue. I mean, okay, maybe not Blue, but you'll definitely know two of the three are Sari and Jared. And you know that if she's voted out, Sari is going to immediately be over there hugging her and just whispering in her ear, I didn't know, I didn't know. And Sari works that fast, so it'll probably work. If Izzy does start to suspect that they're taking her out, maybe, but I don't think she's going to suspect anything because I think if this happens, I think it kind of has to be a blindside, and that's what they're going for. But yes, that'll do it for me. I already did my outro, and then I realized I had more to say. But yes, for real this time, that will do it for me. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Peace out.